All right, here we go, and we are off. KBZ versus Jacky into 1-1. Probably at this point in the tournament, most of you know what's going on here, but I'll still do my best to explain everything. So we want to be Diddy as much as we can, just because Diddy's faster than Donkey. So you start the game as Diddy. I'm sorry, you start the game as Donkey. Every time by himself, you get a DK barrel to get your Diddy, and then immediately get rid of Donkey and play most of the game as Diddy. There are a few exceptions where it's actually beneficial to use Donkey, but most of the time you're going to be running, rolling, jumping, beating up some bad guys as Diddy. Speaking of rolling, it is faster than running. Running's faster than walking. And, ooh, Jacky, unfortunately, misses the auto barrel into the bonus there. Not a huge loss, but still a little bit of a deficit early on. And he should be able to make that up moving forward, but that's going to put him behind at least until we get into some serious frame territory, or until KBZ makes some sort of comparable mistake. But for the most part, we're going to be rolling. When you roll through an enemy, your speed increases up to rolling through 4 enemies. As you can see, KBZ's screen 1, 2, 3, and every time he hits an enemy, he goes a little bit faster. Another gimmick here is crawl spaces. You can actually jump through crawl spaces by holding down, and that's a lot faster than walking through them. Also, if you are over halfway through the crawl space, you can press the Y button, the roll button, and it'll zip you out to the other side. That saves a little bit of time here and there. 155-ish entrance to Coral Capers for KBZ. We'll see where Jacky gets in there, see how much delta there is there. Looks like KBZ's got about 15 on him. Really not that bad. So first water stage. Thing in water stages, there's not actually any water in this game. It's just a flag that gets set to tell the game that you are swimming. So instead of running around, you can press B, and instead of jumping, you just go upwards a little bit. There's no real difference between any of the stages. The water's not actually real, so there's actually some funny glitches you can pull off to take animal buddies into these stages that aren't supposed to be there, and such and so forth. But for the most part, you want to ride the fish when you can. The fish is much faster than being the Kongs, and he has this little lunge motion that dispatches most enemies, and the enemies that you can't dispatch, you can clip through. So now KBZ into Barrel Cannon Canyon. Most of this stage is just auto barrels across the top of the stage. There are a couple places where you have to go down in order to get up to the next set of auto barrels. KBZ threw it safely there. There's one little extendo you have to do. The first, I'd say, mandatory extendo to learn, just because it saves so much time in getting up to that auto barrel up there, as opposed to taking what we call the Maze of Shame to complete the level. First boss, Naughty, just bounce on his head, and he jumps a little bit further each time. 344, that's a pretty good World 1 time by all standards, so KBZ's got a good start going here. On to World 2, Winky's Walkway, named after our favored animal buddy, Winky the frog. Unfortunately, he doesn't see any play in this speedrun. He just doesn't save any time. It's faster to play the stages as Diddy rather than going getting the frog, even though the frog is the best animal buddy. Another very satisfying extendo there in the very beginning. You just saw Jacky do. Now onto the first minecart stage, Minecart Carnage. You can do a little bit of a barrel skip. It saves about 1/4 of a second, but you run the risk of jumping into that auto barrel and then getting shot into first minecart of that stage. It's about 20-second loss or so, because you are pretty much stuck in that minecart. There's no way to die or get out of the level, as opposed to taking the warp to the end. Now into Bouncy Bonanza. Pretty difficult stage by most metrics. Lots of crawl spaces here, and a trick coming up called B-skip. kbz misses the first half and opts not to go for the second half, taking it safe. So he did not get B-skip, where you skip the Bs. We'll see if Jacky gets it. Jacky taking the tire in with him. You see he zipped backwards there through that one crawl space. He wasn't halfway through, so he gets the first and second half of B-skip. Jacky has successfully skipped the Bs, so that saves about 4 seconds. So he made up a good chunk of time there on kbz as opposed to what he had lost beforehand. Now into stop and go, the only stage with these enemies called rock crocs. They're turned off and on by these barrels, these stop and go barrels, hence the name of the stage. They just run back and forth basically. And as long as you're rolling, much like the clips through enemies with on guard, they can't hurt you as long as you're rolling. So works out very, very nicely in terms of the movement. You just run and jump and run and jump. kbz setting up the first major glitch of the game, super jump. You saw a donkey jump up the top of the screen. That means the super jump is charged. When he gets his donkey back, as long as he holds the B button, lands on an enemy, donkey will go up infinitely into that donkey exclusive warp barrel. Now on to the first boss. I'm sorry, second boss, the first instance of RNG. Always spawns in the upper right hand the first time, and the next 4 are random between upper and lower right and left. Lower hits are a little bit faster, so that's what you want. Although it doesn't really lose very much time. It's not really a big deal if he spawns up in the top. It's just a little easier to hit them. 641, 642 maybe, banana drop for kbz, so pretty good pace. Usually anything under 640 is a very good time. 655 for Jacky, so still about 14 seconds. Another donkey exclusive warp barrel here, and this one's actually on a timer. So rather than swapping to Diddy here, you just stay donkey to get into that exclusive warp barrel, and then finish the stage as Diddy, keep playing as Diddy. Another warp here in Treetop Town makes this stage very, very short. Doesn't really see a whole lot of love unless you're in NMS or 101%. Second super jump stage of the game, and hopefully final. There will be other super jump setups probably for super jump rolls, but this is the only other time that we actually just do a super jump in, we'll call them top tier speed runs. So he just jumps off of that Kremling there, and you have to be falling off of the ledge when you bop on that Kremling, otherwise the ropes will catch you. Ropes extend, I think, like infinitely upwards, so you have to fall off the ledge onto that Kremling, hold B button, and you'll go up infinitely as long as you hold the B button. If you look at Jacky's screen, he's going to release right here, so he's falling ever after this. He was going up that whole time, and now he's falling this whole way. I'm going to be falling the whole rest of the stage. I'm going to land right where kbz is at right now. Roll through those last 2 guys. Very well executed. There is a super jump roll, which combines a super jump with a jump roll in that stage, but it's pretty risky to do, because if you time it incorrectly, you can lose up to about 30 seconds per each attempt. If you're late on the trick, it's pretty much no loss. But if you're early, you'll lose about 30 seconds. So most racers don't go for it. It's becoming a little bit more meta to actually go for it now because it saves so much. But both the players playing it safe here, just taking the super jump. Lots of good extendos in this stage. Temple Tempest. Lots of good little rolls and stuff to skip ropes. There's another good extendo right here. kbz's screen. Double extendo. He jumped out of it a little early. You can take a little bit more of the speed out of that, but he's playing it safe. If you do not time the extendo correctly, you end up falling to your death, and it's not a good time. Jacky also jumping out early. That's fine. Perfectly safe. Doesn't lose a whole lot. Rather be safe than sorry, especially in a tournament race. Now, kbz going for the first and only wrong warp of this category. His screen went black? Question mark? I think my internet might be having a little trouble here, or maybe it's the stream. I can't actually tell. Anyway, that was Map Warp. Hopefully we can see it on Jackie's screen. So you get your Kongs in the Kong barrel and press a button right there at that corner, and you get warped into O-Gang. You're about, I don't know, 3/4, maybe 4/5. No, probably more than that. Like 90% of the way done with that stage. So you get in like just at the very end. Saves a lot of time. Second water stage of the game. Again, same idea. You just get on guard as soon as you can, because he's considerably faster than the Kongs while swimming, and you want to be lunging anytime you are moving horizontally. And there are some Croctopus up here. Just got to be careful of them. I don't know if he goes for Clam Clip. He does. Unfortunately, he missed it. So a little bit of a time loss there. Really not a big deal. Same thing coming up on Jackie's screen in a few seconds here. Into the bee boss. This one we actually... well, most bees in this game you can't jump on. So in order to stay, let's say, what's the word? Not congruent, but to keep things the same, we have to hit it with barrels, as we would dispatch other bees in this game. So it just swoops up and down, up and down, up and down, more times consecutively, and when it's red, it's invulnerable. This is a hit there. It's a little bit of a loss, like maybe half a second or so. Not a big deal. Consistent, that's the word. Thank you, Drac. I have no idea why my vocabulary was failing me. On to World 4, the Winter Wonderland of this game. Let's see if KBZ goes for Joe Roll. He opts out of it. Unfortunate. KBZ also opts out of Zero Roll. Jumping over the Claptrap, saving frames. IWannaBeYourJacky also jumping out of Joe Roll and jumping out of Zero Roll as well. Player's playing it safe, which is totally fine. Jackie knows he still needs to catch up a little bit, and KBZ's probably nursing his lead as much as he can, making safe choices so that he doesn't take an accidental death and let Jackie catch up. Because at this point, Jackie would actually probably surpass him if he were to die here. Auto barrel to finish out the stage. Jackie's shooting up on accident. You want to shoot at an angle there. You can actually skip one more auto barrel if you shoot at an angle instead of shooting to the right. Into Slip Slide Ride, where there is a unique track and a unique tile layout. So this is the one and only time where you see the Crystal Cave level layout. KBZ having a little trouble with the out of bounds glitch there. If you hold down when climbing on a rope and you jump up, it actually pushes you above the top of the screen. So we use that to get onto a platform out of bounds to get into the bonus, which is otherwise inaccessible with Diddy. Normally the game intends you to jump in there with Donkey because his hitbox extends higher as he jumps. You sort of just like brush it with his knuckles and it puts you in. But now into Ice Age Alley, the first usual appearance of the bird in speedruns. The bird is very, very fast. If you hold Y, you run faster. However, if you jump, you no longer need to hold Y, but if you press the B button, you will flap to extend your jump. You don't really fly. Oh no, KBZ failing the slope. That's unfortunate. Now Jackie is far and away in the lead. This is probably a good 20 seconds. Let's see, 14:01. And that is going to be kind of tough to make up, but it's the same sort of thing as the death that Jackie took. Really just needs to play out the game. Let's see. Looks like 17 seconds behind KBZ is, as opposed to Jackie. The third water stage of the game. Croctopus Chase. It's about 2 minutes and 20 seconds or so. Mostly just swimming and avoiding these Croctopuses that are trying to chase you, hence the name of the game. But there is on guard here. However, he is like too far out of the way, too far at the end of the stage to actually make up any time. It actually is slower to go so far out of your way and get him because he's just too late in the game, too late in the stage to be worth it. The whole idea of speedrunning this level is a sound cue at the very end of the stage. Whether or not you hear this piano refrain or how many piano notes you hear, gives you a general idea of how quick you were, how well you cut your corners, how well you were mashing B when you're swimming upwards, and all that wonderful stuff. There is no speed limit when swimming upwards. There's no speed cap, so if you can mash the B button 30 times per second, once every other frame, that is the theoretical limit for swim speed in this game. However, that's not really feasible for humans. So, for the most part, just mash as fast as you can and cut your corners as tightly as possible. You want to sort of have like momentum going into each of your corners, each of your turns. You see Jackie did a little bit of a swim up there before he went downwards in order to get more downwards momentum as he went into that down channel. Skip the DK barrel there to save one frame, breaking it open loses a frame. Lots and lots and lots of minor details like that are what truly separate the average players from the really good players. Oh, kbz losing a frame. How could you, kbz? Jackie nearing the end here. We'll see how many piano notes he gets. Alright, so you got the first full piano refrain, not the second one though. On to Torchlight Trouble, the first stage where the gimmick is that the lights are out. And to compensate, the game gives you Squawks the Parrot, but in this game, he's just a little baby. And he holds a little torchlight, so he brightens up the stage for you. However, he causes a lot of video lag. So most runners will opt to go without him because you can kind of see what you're doing. You can mostly see, especially if you turn up your brightness a little bit. Rolling and jumping through all these mincers. Unfortunate, Jackie takes damage there. Now he won't be able to attempt the Roper Drumble SJR. I don't know if he normally goes for it, but you need both Kongs coming into this next stage in order to go for it here. He will get his donkey back, but I'm sorry, his Diddy back. Obviously, because that's the fast way to play the game. Lots of really good tire rolls in this stage. Very good movement. That's a really satisfying one right there. kbz, also donkey only, also won't be able to go for the SJR here, whether or not he wants to. Very tight roll right there by Jackie. Saves quite a few seconds, that cycle right there, that he didn't have to wait for, and gets the back boost. Very impressive. kbz gonna go for the same stuff, I'm sure. Ooh, a little trouble setting up for that first cycle skip right there. Gets it, and the second one as well. Very nice. Jackie hiding out in the upper left hand of the Naughty 2 fight. This lets you hit Naughty the first frame that he is vulnerable as he comes down from the apex of his jump. Saves a little bit of time. Coming out of the boss fight with both of his Kongs, so he will be able to attempt the ODA SJR if he wants to, which I think he usually does. And he's going to set up for it here. So you see Diddy jump off the top of the screen. He has a super jump charge. Now he wants to land on this Kremling at the same time that he presses Y. A little bit early on the Y press. So he rolls through the Kremling instead of jumping off of it. So we'll see if kbz can do a little bit better. About 20 seconds or so behind at this point. And actually, if kbz hits ODA, that almost matches them up necky and necky. Also, kbz was early, unfortunate, but it's still anybody's frame, still anybody's game. Lots left to play. Tricky end section coming up here where you roll off these dumb drums and some tires. Can be really, really hard. Masterful. Well done, Jackie. The thing with ODA, it's really a mental game. You either get it first try or you die in it like 3+ times. There's pretty much no in between. Trick, track, track. Very simple stage, hardly worth mentioning. Just a warp barrel in the beginning sends you to the end of the stage, and don't try to roll there because you'll get owned by the mankey. Now into elevator antics. Some good ropes there by Jackie. Skip the necky, and doesn't go for snake bounce, but that's fine. Doesn't say very much anyway. Into the bonus. This is the second bonus that we take in order to skip a sizable chunk of the stage. Neither player setting up for elevator antics SJR probably. Yeah, KBZ's not going for it either. Very, very risky trick. You actually risk soft locking because when you go above the stage, if you release your jump too soon, you can come down on top of it and you will actually be trapped above the stage. Setting up for elevator skip here, Jackie was very close to going off the bottom of the stage, it looked like. Still nails it, no problem. And now into Poison Pond. Another stage where we ride the fish. The fourth and final water stage. This time the water's a little bit murky and it's green because we're supposed to be in this sort of industrial area, so the idea is that this lake is all polluted, poisoned. There's mincers rolling around in here that can be really, really tough to deal with, but just like the Croctopus and other stages, you can't dispatch them, but you can clip through them, and you'll see one right there. And there's going to be another one coming up here soon for Jackie. Triple mincer clip. I think he usually goes for it. I think he botched the setup there, though, so he's going to opt out. Yep, but he'll still clip one right there. Very nice. Saves a good chunk of time. But didn't get it this time around. No big deal. And now going into Minecart Madness. MCM. Let's see if KBZ gets a triple minker. 1, 2, 3. Very nice, KBZ. So the trick here we call rolling through air. You get your donkey, you run into the minecart. You cannot roll in, you cannot jump in. You have to run into the minecart. And when you do, you take damage on that first bird right in the track. Then the game thinks that you are on land and in the air at the same time and lets you roll and jump infinitely. So you skip the minecart. This is considerably faster than running the minecart. It's anywhere between 4 and 6 seconds is what I've heard, but it feels much faster than that. I guess the setup is what loses most of your time because it does take a little bit of time to come in, swap your Kongs, take damage and everything. There is a jump roll that you can do off of the first couple of birds there, which saves 6 seconds over this. Because any time that you spend in that jump animation is time that could have spent rolling. So that's where you lose time over the jump roll. Some good tire rolls here at the end of the stage, just to dispatch these guys in the carts. Save a little bit of time there. Not necessarily necessary, but of course a time save. Anytime that you're rolling is good. Into Blackout Basement, second stage where the gimmick is that the lights are off. They flicker on and off every 62 frames. Game plays at 60 FPS, so just over a second. Most objects are invisible in the dark, as well as the background and foreground of the stage. However, DK barrels, bananas, and the midway barrel are still visible, so you can use those things as well as the glimpses of the stage to get in between when the lights are off as your sort of visual cues play out this stage. For the most part, it's muscle memory, rolling and jumping in the same time, the same places, and you just get it down eventually. One little extendo here to skip that claptrap at the end, and Jackie is out. Looks like KBZ had trouble with one of the extendos there, one of the rope skips, but he's not far behind. Now Jackie onto Dum Drum. This boss, we don't actually like fight directly, but he drops enemies at you that you need to dispatch of in pairs. And then after that, he just sort of blows himself up. So you fight 2 critters, 2 snakes, 2 claptraps, 2 clumps, and 2 armies. The clumps and the armies cannot be dealt with by Diddy just by jumping on them. Diddy has to roll through the clumps and has to hit the armies once in order to stop them from rolling, and then hit them again to actually dispatch them. So it's a little bit faster to swap to DK here. Plus, DK has a faster fanfare than Diddy does, so you actually end up leaving the stage faster. How many times do you roll in an average speed run? A lot. That's about all I can do for you, man. I don't know, actually. Now on to Tanked Up Trouble. Very, very large auto-scroller. I think probably the largest stage in the game, if I had to guess. Maybe Trick Track Track, but we skipped most of that one. There are 2 frame-perfect tricks that the runners can attempt here. The first one being Krem Tut, performed off of Kremling. The second one being Bird Tut, performed off of a bird, a vulture, a Neki. So, first one here, Krem Tut. I don't know if Jackie goes for it. Looks like no. Alright, so he's going to pass out on that one, then he's going to set up for Bird Tut here, I'm sure. Let's see if he gets it. He gets it! And he a little wiggle. He wasn't sure if he got it, I think, but he did. So, 1 frame trick there. 1/60th of a second in order to hit the Y button as he walks off the platform onto that bird. Now you see him wiggling back and forth here to make sure that Naughty drops off. Remember that, I'll talk about that in a second. You're immune to everything in this jump roll state here, except for bees, barrels, and I think like tires and stuff like that. So he needs to avoid those bees, and you drop subpixels every frame that you're in this jump roll animation. So he used those naughties as just sort of a nice visual cue to tell how long he's been in the animation, to tell that he's dropped enough subpixels in order to go beneath those bees. Big time save, like 42 seconds or so. Unfortunate for KBZ that he did not get it, so that puts him really far in the hole here. Jackie now on to Manic Mincers, and this is the first and only appearance of Rambi the Rhino in an all stages speedrun. For the most part, he's fast and we like to use him, but he does eventually get the Yoshi treatment coming up in a second here, just because it lets us skip that cycle, waiting for the platform to go back and forth. And then after this, there's a couple sections where we roll through these naughties, which actually ends up being faster to be one of the Kongs because of that speed up mechanic that you get as you roll through more enemies. Very, very well executed by Jackie there. KBZ approaching the end of Tanked Up Trouble. He needs some sort of miracle to catch up here. Jackie setting up Misty Minds SJR, and he gets it. 3 Snake. All right, so he's on a good World 6 right now. Again, 1 frame trick. You have 1 frame to press the Y button while you land on the snake as it walks off the edge, and you bounce off of it. So it puts you in a jump roll state as he was in Tanked Up Trouble, but he also had his super jump charged. So it takes that jump roll and sends you upwards as long as you hold the B button. So you just need to release B at the right time, come down at the end of the stage, and you fly over the stage at 3 enemy roll speed. Very, very fast. Saves 24 seconds or so. Depending on how you play the stage, you can save anywhere between 22 and 26 are the numbers that I've been told. Now on to Loopy Lights. 3rd stage, where the gimmick is that the lights are out, but you can turn them back on with these on barrels. And the claptraps here have a little bit of a different mechanic where they jump at you when you jump. The first one in the stage is sort of your introduction to that, and it doesn't move. And because it's programmed differently, that for some reason you can actually roll through that one, and that is the only claptrap that you can roll into in this game. Otherwise, they will hurt you. Doing some good tire rolls here. And now through the B section. Very well done. And then onto the Mankey section. And he is... didn't get Mankey roll, that's fine. He is, careful on that last clap drop there. He is into platform perils now and has all but sealed the deal on this race, but platform perils infinite is a thing. Anything can happen in these races, especially under lots of nerves when he's hit a couple of frames and is on a pretty good run. So we'll see what happens, but this is a very difficult stage to perform, we'll say, optimally. One more flame perfect trick right here. Unfortunately, he's a little bit early on it and takes a death, so I guess he'll get to attempt it again. But he has a good, we'll say, 50 seconds on KBZ at this point. I'm not sure exactly how long Loopy is, but he has one Loopy Lights on KBZ, however long it takes KBZ to finish that stage. They entered their respective stages at about the same time. Again, early on the frame there, but no worries. That one can save a highly variable amount of time based upon how you play at the end of the stage. There are lots of platform skips and back boosts and very, very tricky things you can do in order to save time here. Looks like Jackie goes for some of the good stuff. I don't know if he goes for all of it. But he is playing really well right now. Oh boy, okay, yeah. So he missed his barrel throw there. Very unfortunate, but he still does have a pretty good lead on KBZ right now. KBZ is out of Loopy, going into platform perils, but Jackie came back in at halfway because he grabbed the halfway barrel. Without that, this would have been quite a close race. I think Jackie might still have this wrapped up, though, as long as he doesn't die here. Don't blame me for commentator's curse. I'm not responsible for that. I'm not responsible for his gameplay. KBZ gonna go for platform perils jump roll here. The Leppy setup, okay. He was late on the Y press. You saw he bounced off the enemy there. So that was him walking off the edge onto the army, but did not press Y. That's why he got that large bounce there. So Jackie has pretty much sealed the deal. Just 2 more bosses left. Need the Necky 2 fight, which is just like the Necky 1 fight, except each iteration, each time you hit him, he spits 1 more nut at you. Again, he can spawn upper right, lower left, such and so forth. And the bottom hits are faster. Ooh, that's going to be 34:48-ish for Jackie. Finish time, assuming his K roll goes well. KBZ, I just noticed, gave us the golden barrel for the fans. Any frames in this race? Yes, Jackie hit Bird Tut and Misty Mines SJR, but I believe those are the only 2 so far. Or, well, the only 2. There are none left. Jackie switched to Donkey, which it can be kind of a preference thing. KBZ looking at a 35-26 roughly. Yeah, I guess it's kind of preference which Kong you like to play, which Kong you like to fight K. Rool as more, just based upon timing your hits as closely to K. Rool becoming vulnerable as possible, which is when he throws his crown at you. A lot of people find it's easier to time the hits with DK. Something about his jump animations, his jump height. People find it a lot easier to land on K. Rool on the perfect frame, we'll say, as opposed to with Diddy, just because Diddy jumps a little bit higher. I'm not going to say that he's harder to control, but I guess it's harder to time the jumps for some people. And Jackie into the fake credits here. He's just got 1 more set of hits left. The end? Question mark? Fake credits, spoilers, I apologize. Jackie giving us some good K. Rool jumps here. One of the most important parts when fighting K. Rool is imitating his jumps. Alright. Final hit here. 34, 48, 47. Very nice race, Jackie. Nice 34. Well done. KBZ on to finish up this fight here soon. Not far behind Jackie. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but he got rid of his donkey and is finishing the fight, as did he. No time loss there, just because you don't get freeze frames when you lose Kongs on boss fights. But 35-26, not a bad run, especially without having any frames. So congratulations, Jackie, on your win. Nice runs to both Jackie and KBZ. Not sure if either are willing to come in for an interview. I'm pretty sure that most of the time they decline, but either way, very nice run, both of you guys. Proud of you. Good display. Congrats to Jackie on enduring after that very, very early unfortunate death and working his way back. Without that death, let's see, would have been about 34, 32 or so. So still, very good run. Pardon me here, just seeing if Jackie wants an interview. All right, Jackie, what's up? How do you feel about your run?
Well, it was pretty sloppy.
You took a very unfortunate, we'll say, barrel miss, the bonus miss in 1-2, and you were fighting tooth and nail ever since then to get back, but you really ran away with it at the end there.
Yeah, that was really a bad miss, but yeah, the rest of the run was pretty okay, and I hit Tut and I almost canceled it on the platform.
Yeah, you did like a little wiggle back and forth there, and I thought you were actually gonna lose it because you almost went.
Hey, me too, yeah. But yeah, after this I was like, well, let's go. That can 33 maybe, and I hit Misty, and I was, what the fuck is that? I mean,
yeah.
And yeah, after there was the infinite perils as usual.
Yeah, perils is tough, but yeah, you got 2 attempts at it. KBZ didn't get it either. Were you watching his stream?
No, not at all. Did he hit any frame?
No, actually, he didn't hit any. You hit Tut and you hit Misty, and those were the only frames in the game. But very, very well played. He actually took a death. Oh geez, where was it? In Ice Age Alley, I believe. And then that put you ahead. And
okay.
Yeah, you just ran away with it after that. So very well done. Very nice race.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, it's really better. Like I don't, because right now it's like only playing for 30 minutes, so it's pretty okay. I don't know if after in the tourney, if we have to do something like 3 races in a row, maybe it's gonna be worse. But now it's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're gonna be best of 3, I believe, in brackets. It's gonna be, or no, I think it's gonna be double elimination. I don't know if it's gonna be best of 3. I think at least finals are best of 3, maybe best of 5. But I guess we'll have to see when we get there. I'm not sure of the format all the way through, but either way, very nice race. Congratulations on your win, and I believe you are guaranteed into bracket at this point with 3 wins.
Yeah, I have still 2 matches to go, but yeah, I think it's okay for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for the race. Thank you for letting me commentate speed gaming, and thanks for the interview, Jackie. Congrats to both KBZ and Jackie on some good runs.
Yeah, GG KBZ. Thank you, Luno, for commentating.
Oh, for sure. I love it. All right. See you guys. Rolling out.
Well, see you.